So let me share a chat links. Pranil is joining, so we'll just wait for a second. Pranil to enter in. Welcome, Pranil. Turn on your camera, please. And I've pasted a few chat links in the chat box, so I'll paste once again. So I want all of you to open your chat box, wherein first link is of syllabus link. You can check your syllabus on this particular link. In case you have not enrolled yet, no need to worry. You can complete your payment process. The link has been already shared with you in the chat box and you can join the batch. Yes, we are always welcome to take up the feedback. For this, what you have to do, you have to just click on this form and we'll get your feedback. You need to fill also. In case you want to know in detail about this particular batch, you can click on this all batch detail link and you'll get to know. In case you have any further queries, feel free to drop us an email at support@olympiadsuccess.com, or you can WhatsApp us on these two particular numbers. Yes, we will be going to go live on the Facebook. So in case due to thunderstorm or bad weather, you will not be able to join us back by Zoom. No need to worry. You can watch this demo, which should be live on the Facebook. Okay, so you can learn it from there also. Welcome, Pranil. Pranil is joining us from Somerville School, Noida. Very good. So with this, now I would like to invite your mentor at the platform. His name is Mr. Vikram. He's a wonderful mentor. His conceptual clarity is very good and he loves to interact kids like you. His classes are very engaging, interesting and productive. So he is into teaching profession since so long, from past 5 to 6 years. So I'm sure when you'll be going to complete this session, you will be going to have a very good understanding of knowledge of particular topic, which we'll be going to discuss with you in the demo today. Okay. So with this, over to you, Vikram, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Hi, good evening, everyone. Let me start with my introduction first. My name is Vikram Rawat, and by education, I'm a mechanical engineer. But I've been in the field of education for the past 7 to 8 years now, and I train people for Vedic mathematics. I help people prepare for various competitive exams, and I also teach maths and science to students. So I have already seen your names, the cities you belong to, and the schools you come from, and we'll be able to interact more in the classes. That's my introduction. I think Pooja ma'am has something to say.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vikram, sir. So let me share my screen with all of you and we will be going to have a presentation on the screen now. So I hope my screen is visible to everybody. So I welcome everybody once again at the platform of Olympiad Success, wherein we have gathered here today for the grade 6 science demo. As you all know that Olympiad Success is India's largest preparation platform, wherein we do offer a course named School Plus program with included different subjects: mathematics, English, science, logical reasoning, communication, spoken and written, Vedic maths and coding. We do offer different classes for different boards, for different grades. We do offer a different Olympiad classes also, that is called SESMO, SAMO, HKMO, TIMO, and so on. So you can meet our rank holders on the screen. They're kids like you only. So what all you have to do become a rank holder? You need to just spare every day 2 hours extra from your regular studies, because the Olympiads are not difficult, but yes, little tricky. So for that, you need to fasten your speed. You need to prepare well. That's why our classes are here and mentors are here to help you out. So just spare every day extra 2 hours from your regular studies and you can also be a rank holder. So what all you'll be going to get in these live classes? There'll be a group session with around 20 students delivered through Zoom platform with our significant teachers. Session will be 3 days per week. Days will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Timing will be 6:30 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. with 5 minutes of break. So session will be included of topic-wise quick revision, previous year papers, and theory. So for this, soon I'll be going to give you a dashboard tour that how you can have access of your material. So no need to worry. These all are the relevant links for your course. I've already pasted in the chat box. We'll again be pasted in the chat box. So syllabus is available at this particular link. Fees for this course is 11,151 rupees. It is 50 session course. Payment can be made by clicking on this particular link. So what all you need for such classes? Just a laptop or desktop with good internet connection, good headphones for better audio clarity. So live classes will be going to continue from June 6th, that coming week on Friday. So in 2024, we had students from more than 5,000 schools across India and abroad. So yes, that's all about the presentation about your course. Now I'll be going to share my screen once again with you all to just show you the dashboard that how you can have access of your material. So stay tuned for the same. So what you have to do, kids, you have to enter this URL olympiadsuccess.com, wherein you'll be going to get this page. Over here, you'll be going to enter your email ID with which you will register with us. As of now, I'm entering with one of our demo account. Okay. So after signing in, you'll get your profile details over here. You can check it in case you find any error. You can update it over here. Click on live classes, in which you'll be going to get your entire material. Select your subject, and of course topic. You can see the list of topics for your in detail preparation. So here's a schedule. Let me select topic first. So I have selected food and its components. So you can see schedule, reading material, practice question, papers and answer keys are given for you for your practice. So in schedule, you'll get a clarity in which session you're going for which particular topic, that you should not miss anything. And you can see after completion of every chapter, there's a test discussion. Test discussion means you'll be going to get a mock test paper of that particular chapter. You'll be going to solve it at home, and coming back in the session, in next session, you'll be going to discuss that paper with your mentor in the class along with the doubt in that particular topic. Okay. So you can see each and every session is given for different topics that should get a knowledge in detail. So I believe your entire curriculum is going to cover up in this schedule. What all topics you're going to get in your exam. Welcome, Tarini. So in last, we're going to see super classes. So what are these super classes? Super classes means more practice in which you're going to cover previous year papers, right? So holiday calendar for your reference. Already we are living in North and we do have festivals. So we don't want you to miss any of the sessions. So better you should keep an eye on the holiday calendar. So here's a reading material. So there are different sets. I'll be going to show you just one set for your reference. Okay. So now I'll be going to show you question paper and answer key. So here's the question paper. So you can see the type of questions you're going to get, difficulty level of the questions. So I recommend you to just download the paper first, solve it, and then check your answer keys. Don't download your answer keys parallelly. Okay, so here you go with the answer key. So we have more practice for you. That is under the section of worksheet. Click on that. Select your subject. And here you go with the topics. So how you have to attempt this worksheet? Click on take exam. Read instructions carefully. Tick the small box, start worksheet. And let me see how many of you know the correct answer. So quickly read the first question and type your answer in the chat box. So rather than writing a full sentence, you can write option A, B, C, D in sequence. Identify the fast reaction from the following: the burning of a matchstick, the seed changing into a big tree, the biodegradation of paper, the change of milk into the curd. Hurry up. Oh, we got our first lucky answer. Option A, let's fill it then. Okay, they all are answering same. Click on next. So this way you have to attempt all your questions. So once you're done with all the questions, you can submit your worksheet. For that, click on finish button. Yes, I've reviewed all the questions. So once you're done, you can check your performance parallelly. So that is the best part of our work platform. So click on performance button. Select your subject once again. And you can see your date over here. I've attempted this worksheet just now, 30th. Click on view button. Welcome, Divya. Quickly type in the chat box from which school and city you're joining us. Yes, click on review button. So here you can see the correct answer. Very good, Laksh. Good job. So Vikram sir got a brainy strengths in his class. Okay. Yes, so that's pretty much about it. Log out. Let me stop sharing my screen. Now we are open for the query round. If anybody is having any doubt, needed a clarity, we'll be happy to answer each and every query. So we got a first question from Runisha Gupta. Ma'am, is this for Science Olympiad? Which Olympiad is this practice for? Yes, this is for Science Olympiad for grade 6. So we are gathered here today for the demo grade 6 science. Anybody, any doubt? Please turn on your cameras. Riddhi, Tarini, Rithun, Laksh, Hemant, Divya, Pranil. We would appreciate more if you just stay with your cameras on. Thank you, Lash. Thank you, Ritan. Good job, Raghav, with camera on throughout the time. Thank you, Vriddhi, and good job, Ronisha, with camera on throughout the time. Okay, anybody doubt? Give you the clarity? Ma'am, is this first? Yes. Which Olympiad, Ronisha, you are talking about? Means for science, we have various Olympiads. So you need to check on the website, okay? Clear, Ronisha? Oh, anybody else? Or shall we begin with the demo? Show me thumbs up on the screen then. Okay, over to you, Vikram sir.
I think there's somebody in the waiting room. Okay, so hi everybody. Hi again. I hope everybody has joined with their own names. You all have, right? Just give me a minute. Okay, yeah. So hi everyone. Before I teach you anything, I simply want to know, what do you think about science? What do you think science is? I don't want a bookish definition. Whatever you feel science is, just write the answers in chat. In your opinion, what is science? And how many of you like science as a subject? You can raise your hand if you like science as a subject. Okay. Can everybody, first of all, turn on their cameras? Everybody, come on. Okay. Avani says exploring new things is science. Great. Okay. Avni, Hemant, Pranil, Divya. There's somebody with SVS Subramanyam. Come on, everybody, turn on your cameras. We only have a few rules in the classes. One is to keep your cameras on all the time so that I know that people I'm teaching are actually listening to me. Okay. I'm getting really great definitions from you people in the chat, which are all correct. These are all correct definitions of science. Science is also about knowing the world. Okay. The reason for what's happening around us is science. There are multiple parts of science. If we talk about the physical world, we call it physics. When we talk about forces, when we talk about why Earth is attracting things towards itself, the gravitational force. Why does the North Pole of a magnet attract the South Pole of another magnet? It's all part of physics, right? Then, when we talk about molecular level, changes in molecular level, it's part of chemistry. When we mix two items, it forms some other kind of solution. Like when we talk about hydrogen and oxygen, or hydrogen is a combustible gas. Oxygen supports combustion. And when both of them combine and they form water, it it is a chemical or a material which opposes combustion. So isn't that very fascinating? That's all part of chemistry. When all of these things happen in a molecular or a cellular level, it's called biology. So biology is changes happening in atoms and molecules, but within a body. We are also made up of atoms and molecules. So things which when these changes happen in living organisms, we study it in biology, right? Okay. Great answers. Right. So there are many things in science, and when I think about science, I'm very curious about things happening around us. So I like to think about everything. For example, the first rule that I want everybody to have in mind is there is a very famous physicist. His name is Richard Feynman. Have you heard this name before? Anybody who knows this name? Richard Feynman. Never heard of him? Okay. Okay. Most of you say no. So he's a very famous physicist. Uh, his books are amazing. There are some video lectures, I suppose, of him, and they are also really good. He had a quote, and he said about what true learning is. So he says that true learning begins when you are willing to unlearn what you think you know. That means when you know that maybe what you know is actually not true, might not be true. I'll give you one example. Everybody knows what gravitational force is, right? Gravity, everybody knows about it. Okay, okay. Everybody's saying yes. So, can anybody tell me? We understand that when an object pulls another object, it's called gravitation. What is the reason behind it? What causes this gravitational force? Think about it. I'll give you some time to magnetic force. Vriddhi says it's because of magnetic force. Okay. We'll discuss all your answers in a while. Huh? If you don't know the answer, just say I don't know. Okay, due to Earth's magnetic attraction, Runisha says the Earth's force of pulling everything towards its center. Let me repeat my question. I'm not asking what is gravitational force. My question is, why do we experience this force? What causes this force? When I pull somebody towards me, it is my muscles exerting the force on that other person. It is the friction that holds, right? But what is the reason behind gravitational force? What causes gravitational force? Not asking what is gravitational force, but what causes gravitational force. Think about it. Okay, don't know. Gravity. Okay, interesting. Gravity causes gravitational force. So, okay, let me start from the beginning. So, there have been multiple theories about gravity. So, earlier scientists said that because Earth has a rotating core inside it, which basically is lava, which rotates inside, and that is something that causes gravitational force. There was also a theory, somebody said magnetic forces. There was again a theory which said that it is because of magnetic forces that Earth is able to attract objects. But then there were some cross questions. Then why is Saturn able to pull other objects? Why is Jupiter able to pull other objects? Every object in the universe is pulling other objects with mass. This force of attraction may be different for different objects. For example, when I talk about these two pens, so according to gravitational force, these two pens are also pulling each other. But the force is so less that we don't see any change happening. When we talk about an object with huge mass, an object like Earth, an object like Venus, Mars, even Sun, so then this gravitational force is so huge that it is able to pull or attract objects of other masses towards itself. Right? Now, what causes this? We have understood that it cannot be magnetic force because every planet does not have this revolving core inside. So what is it? Somebody said it is because of some particles called gravitons. There are some particles, gravitons, which are released from every object that has mass. But nobody was able to detect these particles. So again, we had to keep this theory aside. This theory was rejected after some time. There were many other theories. One of the theories says that, okay, let's try to understand this. If it's too complicated for you to understand right now, just let me know. Huh? So what they said is, consider space and time as a sheet like this. Or let me take a sheet. And when you put a object with mass on it, it creates, it pushes the sheet inwards. It creates a curve like thing. And because of this curve, whenever an object falls in the proximity of this curve, near this curve, it starts going inside the curve. And that causes a pull towards the center. That is gravity. But again, there were many questions about it. So even this theory might not be true. This is the theory which we believe on right now. Most of the scientists agree on. Not everybody, but most of the scientists. So when we talk about gravity, the most basic thing, everybody knows it. You in class 6 know it. You, I think, in grade 4 also knew it. Everybody knows about Newton. He saw an apple falling and he discovered that there was a force of gravity acting on Earth, right? But we still don't know the exact reason behind it. So there may be multiple things in our lives which we think what we know is true, but might not be true, right? Okay, let me just, gravitational force is universal force of attraction between all matters. Okay, mass causes gravitational force. Okay, these are all interesting answers, but not all of them are correct. They might be correct, they might not be correct. What I'm saying is, even I don't know what the actual cause of gravitational force is. And maybe we won't ever know. All we can hope is that someday we get close to the correct answer. And that's what we should all focus on. Trying to get to the correct answer, trying to get to know the reason behind things happening around us. I'll just share a PPT with you before we move forward. Okay, so these are the things that we're going to talk about. We'll talk about matter. Uh, okay, we'll talk about matter. We'll talk about states of matter, how many different states of matter there exist. Then we'll talk about characteristics of solids, liquids, and gases. We'll talk about different properties of solids, liquids, and gases. We'll talk about how matter is classified in different categories, properties of matter, mixture, methods of separation of mixtures. So first of all, let's talk about what matter is. So everything around us which has mass, we call it matter. Is air matter? If it is, give me a thumbs up. If you think air is matter. If you think air is not matter, a thumbs down. Okay. Okay. Okay, great. So if you think that air is matter, which means air has mass, and we know that Earth's atmosphere is huge. So that means there is a huge layer of air above our head right now. So why don't we feel that mass? Come on. I want everybody at least trying to interact in the class. Whatever you think, I'm not expecting the right answer from you. I'm just expecting an answer from you. Okay. Okay, because it's too light, we can't feel it. How would you feel that if I told you that an average person experience somewhere about 960 kg of air weight upon them? 960 kgs. People saying that air is too loosely packed. People who are saying that it's very light. You have to think about the depth of air we are talking about. It's almost 1000 kilometers of air. That depth of air, the weight experienced by an average person is somewhere around 960 kgs. Just think about it, just imagine. So you're already lifting 960 kgs. Do you feel that you're lifting that much weight? Anybody who feels that they're lifting 960 kgs? No? So why don't we experience that weight? If air is matter and matter has mass and the mass experienced by us of air is 960 kgs, then why don't we feel it? Okay, I'm getting some answers. Can you repeat the question? It's made of several atoms, it's matter. Okay. So Runesha, I'll just repeat my question. My question was, first of all, there's a statement that an average person experiences 960 kgs of mass of air upon them. So why don't we feel that we are holding 960 kgs? Why don't we feel that weight? Because it's weightless. Because our mass is much more than that of air. I don't think you are more than 960 kgs. See, this is not a test for you people. This is just to try to generate that curiosity about science in your minds, right? So don't consider this as a test. Simply think about what do you feel? Why don't we experience it? Okay, let me explain. Why don't we feel that weight on ourselves? The reason is pressure difference. What we experience is difference in pressure. Let me try to explain this with an analogy. When you have fever and somebody touches you, don't you feel that their hands are very cold? Isn't it? Doesn't that happen? They touch your forehead and you feel that your hand is so cold. So the temperature is also relative. The heat that you feel is relative. If your own temperature is very high, so even moderate temperature will feel very cold. If your temperature is very low, even the moderate temperature will feel warm, right? Similarly, what we experience is difference in pressure because the pressure inside us is equal to the atmospheric pressure, the pressure that we feel because of air. That is why we do not experience that 960 kgs of weight of air upon us because the pressure inside us is equal to it. And that is why we cannot dive deep into seas. Do you remember there was an incident that happened recently? There was a submarine that went into deep seas. Who will tell me which submarine was it? Okay. Uh, you want to unmute yourself, Ritun? Just a minute. Let me check if you can do it. Just check if you can do it now.
Yes, sir.
Ritun, are you able to do it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me. I don't hear anything. Nobody has heard about the implosion of submarine that took 6 people down. Okay. This happened, I think, last year or last to last year. The name of the submarine was Titan. But anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you is, so when we go deep into the ocean or sea, the pressure above us keeps on increasing. And the pressure inside us is keeps a balance of atmospheric pressure and the pressure inside us. So if there is even a slight change, if the pressure increases or if even if the pressure decreases, our body is going to feel some problems. Like what happens is when people go to high altitudes, people travel at high heights, the pressure suddenly decreases around us. And when the pressure suddenly decreases, it causes bleeding from nose, bleeding from ears, right? Because the pressure inside us is high and the pressure outside is very low. So from high pressure, things tend to go to low pressure. And that's why sometimes they start bleeding. Similarly, when you go deep inside sea or an ocean, consider this, you take a balloon and you take it along with you inside a sea. So what will happen is the pressure keeps on building. The pressure around the balloon keeps on increasing. That will compress the balloon. Same thing happened with that submarine called Titan. The pressure got so high that it crushed that submarine. And everybody inside it met with that accident. There were 6 people, total 6 people inside the submarine. Okay, moving on. What are the states of matter? I think everybody knows 3 states of matter. There are more, but we generally talk about only 3 states of matter. So solid, liquid, and gas. If you look at the diagram, you'll, I think everybody will be able to guess which one is which state of matter. So where there is minimum motion of particles, atoms, or molecules is solid. And these are also closely packed. When the space between these atoms is slightly higher and the motion is also higher, it's the liquid state. In gaseous state, there's a lot of space between the atoms and molecules, and even the motion is relatively higher than solid as well as liquid. Now, changing the states of matter. This is also a very interesting phenomena. Uh, I'll try to give you an example. Or I would rather ask a question to all of you. Which one do you think will burn more? Water of 100 degrees Celsius or steam at 100 degrees Celsius? Water or steam? Both have the same temperature. Vriddhi says water. Water, okay. Okay, Avni says water. Water at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. But why? Temperature of both the things are same. 100 degrees Celsius of water, 100 degrees Celsius of steam. Still everybody is saying water will burn more. Somebody raised hand. Who was it? Any answers? Why would steam can no more change its state? Okay, that's an interesting take because water is liquid, it is more tightly packed as compared to steam, which is gas. Okay. I think better you can unmute yourself. Please first start with your name. How do I spell your name?
My name is Hasini.
Hasini.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would request everybody, if you've joined with some other name, please go to the participants at the bottom of your screen and you will find your name there. Right next to your name, there are three dots. Tap on it, click on it. You'll find an option of renaming yourself. Hasini, beta, you do it after your answer or question, whatever you have. Yes, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Do it later. First, tell me what's your answer.
Sir, like the water, if we steam, it turns into gas and be like a water vapor, and the water remains same.
Okay. Okay. So let me tell you. First of all the answers are wrong. It is 100 degrees Celsius of steam that burns more. That causes a severe burn. And I'll tell you why. Because when we have water at 100 degrees Celsius, it will absorb more heat to convert into steam of 100 degrees Celsius. So all the heat that we provide to water, which later on converts it into steam, is actually stored inside that water vapor. So all of that heat, 100 degrees Celsius temperature, along with the heat that is required to convert it, is stored inside that water vapor. And all of that heat, when we come in contact with that heat, it causes a more severe burn than water. Another example could be which will lower down your temperature, water at 0 degrees Celsius or ice at 0 degrees Celsius? The answer is similar. It will be ice at 0 degrees Celsius because we have taken a lot of heat. So water at 0 degrees Celsius, when you take out heat from that water, then it converts into ice. So it has even less heat as compared to water at 0 degrees Celsius. That is why we use ice for cooling, not water. We could have easily taken water at 0 degrees Celsius, readily available, easy to carry, but still we choose ice, even though it melts easily, because it has more cooling effect, right? I think this is what the this slide talks about, that when you change state of any matter, it either requires heat or you need to extract heat from it. Thus, change of states, we'll not discuss this. Let's see if there is something interesting. Okay, I think the first chapter in your science book is nutrition. What is it? What happened? Yeah, food and its components. Yeah, so it reproduction of seed, diversity in living world, food and its components. Okay, so I think it's food and its components. You didn't get the books yet. It's fine. So that's also a very interesting chapter, a very interesting topic to discuss. There are various components in our food. We have what we majorly know of are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Carbohydrate basically is the energy giving unit of food, which is basically starch, sugar, or glucose. It's kind of very similar. So starch breaks down into sugar and sugar breaks down into glucose, which finally gives you energy, produces ATP molecules in our body, which is the energy that we feel, right? Now, how do you know that the food item has a lot of carbohydrate, or it has a lot of protein, or it has a lot of fat in it? So there are multiple tests for that. So one is putting iodine mixture. If you put any iodine mixture on any food compound, if it has starch, if it has sugar, it will turn blue black kind of color. It will turn into a blue black kind of color. So that is the test of starch. Similarly, we have a test for protein. In when we test proteins are basically made of hydrocarbons along with nitrogen. So what we are testing is nitrogen, presence of nitrogen in the food item. Let's not get into the details of it. But when we talk about food supplements which have proteins, so that's what they do to spike or to adulterate that supplement. They spike in nitrogen compounds so that in the testing they get more nitrogen, which shows that it has more protein in it. It might not have that high amount of protein. There might simply be any nitrogen spiking. Any compound which has nitrogen spiked into it, mixed into it, will show a high amount of protein, because what we generally test is nitrogen, presence of nitrogen. But there are multiple other tests which can identify if the compound is adulterated or not, something has been mixed into it or not. We'll not get into much details of it. Okay. What else do we have? Okay, before we move on, do you people have any questions? Anything that you would want to ask? Hasini, yes.
Sir, what's the test for fat?
Test for fat. There are multiple tests, but one simple test is putting a paper to it, rubbing it into a paper. If it forms a wet kind of thing, you let it dry for a while. You'll find that paper turns a little transparent in presence of oil. Have you ever tried it? A tissue paper or
No,
even
sir.
a paper, you put a puri over it or a paratha over it, and it will turn a little transparent.
Okay, sir.
Ever has anybody ever tried it?
Sir, I tried it.
You must have seen it at your homes. There are even wrapping papers. So in presence of fatty food, they turn a little transparent. Their color changes. So that is one
Okay.
simple test for fats. There are other
Okay.
multiple tests. We won't get into the details of it because I don't think it will ever be a part of your syllabus. Even when you go to class 12th, you won't have that as a part of your syllabus. People who study laboratory sciences, people who are into testing of food and compounds, they study about it. But okay, anyways, moving on. Any other questions? Anybody? Anything that you want to ask? Okay, let me put up a question for you people. It's a very interesting one. It was also asked in an interview for Tesla. I hope everybody knows what Tesla is. Tesla electric cars. Elon Musk is was the CEO. I don't know if he still is. He's not the co-founder. Let me tell you that. He bought the company from two brothers who named it after the famous scientist Nikola Tesla, because electric vehicles run on motors. So motors, he kind of invented. Nikola Tesla invented motors. Yeah. So the question is, in the interview, it was asked that a person goes 10 kilometers towards south. On Earth, he goes 10 kilometers towards south. Let's make it 100. 100 kilometers towards south. Then he turns towards west, goes 100 kilometers towards west. Then he turns towards north, again goes 100 kilometers towards north. but he reaches the same exact point where he started his journey from. So can you tell me where would he have started his journey? Think about it. You can even draw it on your notebook. 100 kilometers south, 100 kilometers west, again 100 kilometers north, but reaches back to the same position. Okay, Ritun, I'll repeat it. Vriddhi and Runisha. Think about it again. The question is, if a person started from a particular point on Earth and he went 100 kilometers towards south, then he turned to west, traveled 100 kilometers to the west. He turned towards north again and traveled 100 kilometers again. But he reached the same exact point from where he started. So you have to tell me which point would he have started with? Where on earth he would have started his journey from? I haven't got any correct answer yet. Huh? Laksh, I'll just talk about it in a minute. South. Okay. Somebody says south, somebody says north. Irunisha says easy, it's east. Just draw the diagram on your notebook. You'll find that it's not that easy. West. Okay. See, there's no chance that he could have reached back to his original position. I'll tell you why. So what I'm saying is, from a particular point, if he travels 100 kilometers south, 100 kilometers west, 100 kilometers north, he can never reach the same point. There will still always be the space between it, between his initial and the final point. But what we consider is, Earth is not a plane surface. Earth is spherical. So if he started from the north pole of Earth and traveled towards south, 100 kilometers towards south, 100 kilometers towards west, went back up again, he would reach the same point. I'll explain this in one of our classes using a live example of a ball, right? So just remind me to explain this again. I'll take one question and then we'll end the class. We'll end the demo for today. We had a question from about buoyancy. Who was it from? Laksh, I suppose. Yeah. So Laksh is asking, can you tell us about the buoyant force? Have you ever gone to a river or a lake? Have you tried lifting a stone inside it? A rock? Even a big rock feels very light inside a lake or a river. If you've gone to swimming pool, I'm really sorry. If you've gone to a swimming pool, you'll find that it's very easy to lift yourself inside the swimming pool. You can easily do hundreds of push-ups inside a swimming pool. How does that happen? Even lifting your friend inside a swimming pool is very easy. So the reason is buoyant force. Whenever an object is immersed in a fluid, I'm please keep in mind the words I'm using them very carefully. Fluids, that means gases as well as liquids. Anything that is submerged in a gas or a liquid always experiences a force upwards, which is called buoyant force, which makes it lighter inside a medium. A question related to it could be, what would feel lighter? 100 kgs of cotton or 100 kgs of iron? If you think that both of them will feel the same, you're wrong. The buoyant force on 100 kgs of cotton will be higher. So 100 kgs of cotton would feel lighter as compared to 100 kgs of iron. Okay, that's it. We're not going to discuss any more things, but I hope you understand what we are going to learn in the classes, what kind of approach we are going to have towards science. We'll try to understand the phenomena around us. We'll try to be a little more curious about things happening around. And please, I would really enjoy the classes if you come up with more questions. And I'm not saying that I will be able to answer all of them, but I'll try. Okay. Any other questions? Somebody says, just a minute. Allow me to unmute. Yes, sure. Yes, Runesha.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, this is for a science Olympiad.
Yes, it is.
Sir, so when is the Olympiad and how we need to register for it?
For that, you'll have to talk to Pooja ma'am, I suppose. She'll be able to guide you better. But I'll still confirm it from her. Your name is Runesha, right? I'll just note it down and I'll ask her to send you the details about the Olympiad, right? Just a minute. Any other questions, people? Or should we end the class? Acha, first of all, how many of you enjoyed the class? Okay. Okay. Is there anybody who found the class to be a little out of the syllabus, not that interesting? Anybody? It was out of the syllabus, first of all, let me tell you. But still, I just wanted to, I just want you to be curious about science. Only then we can learn new things, not just what is there in the syllabus. We'll also learn things which are not a part of your syllabus, but important for us. Everybody should know these things. Okay. Siddhi and Laksh, did you find it difficult or did you enjoy it? Okay. Okay, enjoyed it. Okay, great. So thank you everyone. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the class. You found the last few topics difficult to understand. It's okay. You don't have to understand everything. What the motive behind what I told you today was just to make you curious about these things. Have once you leave this class, have that curiosity inside you, think about these things. We will discuss about these things. This was just a beginning. I didn't even explain when I said that the question was 100 kilometers south, west, and then north again. I haven't explained it again. I'll show it through an experiment to you people, but we don't have enough time today. When we meet again in the classes, if we do so, then I'll try to explain it again, right? But that's it for today then. Thank you everybody. I'll see you in the classes. Bye.